Notice all the talk of martial law and how it's good and how it's great and how we need it in the last few months leading up to this. They set the table in front of you. They prepare you. They bathe you in this. Now, folks, here I got a bunch of clips. I have the police who aren't looting to supply themselves, but actually filling their carts full of stereo equipment and tennis shoes and jewelry at Walmart. So my point is, the government can't protect you and won't protect you and never will protect you. You need to get self-sufficient and get prepared. I am, you should be. It's not kooky and bad to be prepared. Our forefathers weren't fearful people, but they were all prepared. They were outgoing, robust, strong people, but they were all prepared. You're not prepared. I can skin a buck, I can run a trot line. I'd like to spit some beech nut in that dude's eye. I can take care of myself. I can take care of my family. Nothing compared to my father. Nothing compared to his father. Nothing compared to his father. And the men going back to Virginia in the 1750s, teaching their sons how to shoot a long rifle. I'm a shadow of those men, but you are a shadow of me because I know these skills. You've been castrated, folks. And when you don't know the land, when you don't know how to dig a well, when you don't know what you can eat in the woods, when you don't have storable food for your family, when you don't grow a garden and can it with your children, they're genetically designed to do this. They'll love it. They'll love a garden. They'll love canning. When you don't do this, you rob yourself of what it is to be human. We're in these big cities, all spoiled, wanting little trinkets, don't know how to run our own lives. And the globalists have engineered it this way. FEMA is cutting police lines. FEMA is terrorizing. FEMA is breaking levees. They've been caught. Do you understand? It's hidden in plain view. Just like the head bomber over the bombings in London turned out to be an MI6 agent. Mainstream news in England, nobody gets in trouble. It's now time to wake up. The government isn't going to protect you. It can't protect you. It won't protect you. And America's getting worse and worse, folks. There are going to be more and more crises. You wait. This is a dress rehearsal. We better get more of a police state to respond to disasters. The globalists will carry out nuke attacks or bio attacks, and they'll set up a police state we never emerged from. Dissent will be quelled. We'll be the property of the government. They're going to invade the planet with a new national draft. This is the seizure of our psyche. Paul Craig Roberts, number 2 at Treasury in the Reagan administration, has gone public and said this on my show yesterday. Yeah, now this is off the internet, so it's horrible quality. It actually looks good on my website. By the time you transfer it to the big screen, blow it up, it looks horrible. So taking a 1 megapixel picture and blowing it up to 10 megapixels. But this is basically it's the parish president for the parish that by New Orleans, but they have parishes there. It's the equivalent of the mayor of one of the biggest cities in the U.S. So here he is, and notice at first he's reading off a script. He's looking down, reading off the FEMA script that everybody else is reading. We need to give FEMA total power. FEMA needs to run our lives. FEMA needs to have unlimited control and be a cabinet position. Now, all of them, we've got other newscasts where they all look down and read the same thing. He finally just breaks down and goes, "You've done nothing. You're cutting the control lines." He obviously had to lie to get on this show. And so this is literally a Running Man type deal where he breaks out and tells the truth for a second. Watch closely. Watch that screen.
Broussard, let me start with you. You just heard the Director of Homeland Security's explanation of what has happened this last week. What is your reaction?
We have been abandoned by our own country. Hurricane Katrina will go down in history as one of the worst storms ever to hit an American coast, but the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina will go down as one of the worst abandonments of Americans on American soil ever in U.S. history. I am personally asking our bipartisan congressional delegation here in Louisiana to immediately begin congressional hearings to find out just what happened here. Why did it happen? Who needs to be fired? And believe me, they need to be fired right away because we still have weeks to go in this tragedy. We have months to go. We have years to go. And whoever's at the top of this totem pole, that totem pole needs to be chainsawed off, and we've got to start with some new leadership. It's not just Katrina that caused all these deaths in New Orleans here. Bureaucracy has committed murder here in the greater New Orleans area, and bureaucracy has to stand trial before Congress now. It's so obvious. FEMA needs more congressional funding. It needs more presidential support. It needs to be a cabinet-level director. It needs to be an independent agency that will be able to fulfill its mission to